Well, as you heard, the crisis is sending global markets into a downward spiral.
And as we mentioned earlier, without an 11th hour deal, Greece will go into default at 6 o'clock Eastern time, and the results could be catastrophic. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger is back with us. So, Jill, what exactly happens if tonight's deadline passes and Greece cannot make its payment to the IMF?
I have good news and bad news. The good news is that we're going to keep talking about this because this is a deadline, but not the deadline. And here's what happens. If they don't make that payment to the IMF, they're in technical default with the IMF. But that said, they're not in default with their European creditors, and that's the bigger group, more important. So we could see them not make the payment, but still kind of muddle along for the next few days. And I guess that's sort of good news because it leaves open the idea of a last-minute deal. It pushes everything to Sunday until that referendum. But essentially, things are starting to come to a head. And what's really fascinating is to see what the Greek people will do on Sunday. Right now, the polling indicates about 65% say they want to remain part of the Eurozone and use the euro as the currency. But when they get to the polls, could things be changing? Sure, absolutely. Events on the ground are certainly going to influence.
So, this is very interesting to watch from way over here. But should we be concerned as Americans? Could there be an impact for us?
I think what we talk about is the impact has been felt in the markets. And as you said, yesterday was a bad day for stock markets, good day for bond markets. Okay. But that said, you know what? If we see Greece leave the Eurozone, I think that these events could start to cascade and have a more dramatic impact on our markets. U.S. markets were down 2% yesterday. That's a bad day. It's not catastrophic. European, Asian markets, they were down 3.5% or so. So it's not a big economic issue. Greece is 0.3% of the global economy. So we're not talking about economic contagion. We're talking about market contagion.
Oh, that's an interesting perspective.